Welcome back to the JCPod, partner with Stay Down Sports. I'm your host, Jaden Chandler Pornell, and wow, man. I'm not going to lie to you, this NBA playoffs, woo! It's getting wild. Absolutely crazy what's happening in the NBA playoffs. After just last night, Timberwolves up 2-0? Knicks take a 1-0 series lead. We have the other two series that are starting tonight. Wow. There's just a lot to talk about. I don't even know where to begin. So I think without any further ado, I don't think I need to waste any more of your time. Let's just hop right back in. So yeah, we're going to pick up where we left off last week, which was... What? I don't even remember what day that was, if we're being real. So I guess from May 2nd was the last time I saw you guys. It wasn't a full week. So that's that ended with the Pacers winning that series. So the Pacers finished that series off. The Knicks ended up finishing their series off. Both teams won 4-2. So that was Thursday, I believe. Friday, Magic win to tie at 3-3. Mavs end up winning to make their series 4-2. Saturday, Timberwolves win 1-0, 106-99. I'll talk about that game in a little bit. Sunday, Cavs win 106-94. That was the only game. Cavs end up winning Game 7. They're going to play the Magic. And then last night, Knicks, Pacers, Timberwolves, Nuggets. Let's begin. Pretty much we'll start picking off from there. We'll talk with the Knicks series since there's only been one game so far. 121-117. This was actually a pretty competitive game throughout the whole game, pretty much. I mean, literally the whole game. It was... Pacers pull away, gets close. Pacers pull away, gets close. Pacers pull away, gets close. I was telling my buddy about it he had the Knicks. I ended up having the Pacers plus 5.5 this game. Thank God they didn't count the last foul at the end of the game or your boy was screwed. It's just that I've already said I'm way too much. I apologize. Pacers, like I said, 117, Knicks 121. Jalen Brunson again. This goes nuclear. Dude drops 43 on 14 of 26 shooting. 14 of 14 from the free throw line. That's pretty good. Dante DiVincenzo adds in 25 on 10 of 17 shooting. Josh Hart 24 on 9 of 13 shooting. I mean, the big three for the Knicks pretty much got stuff done because the biggest issue with them in the last series was they got no hope for Brunson. I mean, Dante DiVincenzo took, I think, 8 games to show up. Josh Hart just had some issues of struggling here and there when it came to scoring points. Like I said, they were actually able to get a lot of contributions from their I would say, quote-unquote, big three, but if Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo are going to be able to contribute like that, this is going to go a long way in this series, especially because Miles McBride only played 10 minutes. Precious Achiuwa actually got some time, but he only got 4 minutes. Mitchell Robinson got 11 minutes. I mean, past that, you're looking at 43, 43, 36, 42, 48 minutes. Minutes are going to be a big, big thing when it comes to this series, especially with the Pacers' pace. I mean, Siakam had 19 points. Nesmith, 12. Miles Turner, 23, 11. Halliburton was the one that kind of killed him. Only 6 points. He had 8 assists, 3 turnovers. I mean, he had 4 steals. He did everything good. He just didn't get it really going scoring-wise. He's only 2 of 6, which was, I think, more of the bigger issue is the fact that he only took, 6 shots. I don't understand why. It's so weird with Tyrese, man. He's I want to say he's a true point guard because he actually puts up passing before scoring and everything, but I wish he would be a little bit more aggressive with the scoring because he is their best player and he needs to be a little bit. Especially Siakam, 8 from 16, not bad at all. Miles Turner as well, 8 for 16. Nembhard was 4 for 10. TJ McConnell, 9 for 16 off the bench. I mean, literally, if if Tyrese Halliburton's able to make a few more shots, I mean, maybe they win this game. I'm not going to say that just because there's no D in Pacers. The biggest issue I think they had was their defense. Obviously, there were just so many times where it's they would finally get a big lead and then they would just give up, easy layups here and there. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I just saw Josh Hart cut to the paint, no one's there. This guy cuts to the paint, no one's there. I mean, that's what pretty much is going to kill the Pacers in the series is the fact they're going to give up easy points. I'm not going to say all the time, but there's a good amount of the time where they're just going to give up easy points because they have one of the worst defenses in the NBA. I mean, their offense is amazing, the best offense in the NBA, but the payoff is that their defense is not the best, and you saw it last night. I mean, shit, they had almost a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, and that thing got evaporated in 5 minutes, not even. Going into the fourth quarter, immediately was 94-90, and then it was 93-90 in 4, and then it just kept getting closer and closer until eventually the Knicks pulled away. It's unreal. Absolutely unreal game. I thought it was a really fun game to watch for Game 1. I don't know how I feel about this series. I thought the Knicks would win in, I think, 6 or 7. I still think I'm on that after last night. I think the Pacers put up a really good fight, though. That's the only thing that's scary. The only thing that bothers me and worries me is the Knicks were down for a good part of that game. So I truly do wonder if the scoring droughts kind of scared me a little bit for them. I'm curious what happened in that spot. And then when it comes to the Pacers, my biggest worry for them is defense. I mean, I feel like they played that game really, really good other than Halliburton scoring. I mean, like I said, their defense wasn't the best. So they get 49 from Hart and DiVincenzo, 43 from Brunson. That's going to hurt you a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that game. Game 2, I believe, is this still every other night? Why can't I find the Wolves Magic? Do they get that, 3 or 4 weird date? We'll look at the schedule in a second, actually. I'll finish talking about games, and we'll look at the schedules looking ahead. But the Pacers and Knicks do play 2 nights from now. They play on May 9th. Excuse me, I meant to say May 8th. 2 nights from yesterday. They have a game at 8 Eastern, and they're the only game on Wednesday. Maybe that's why, it's because it's Wednesday. They only got one game on. That'd make a little bit more sense. But yeah, like I said, we're going to, before we talk about Timberwolves, Nuggets, I want to give a quick shout out to the Cavs. They end up winning Game 7 against the Magic. Nobody wins on the road in that series. It was all home teams. And then I also just want to give a quick shout out to Franz and Jalen Suggs, who went 3, I think, from 26 for the stats from the field. That sucks. That's going to be hard to win with when you have your stars not doing too well. I want to shout out Paulo Banchero, who played an amazing game. Plus 900 for him to score 35. I wish I could have bet him to score 40. I would have, but glad either way. Made a quick little penny off of him him to score 30, him to score 35, so that's pretty cool. Past that, though, man, the Magic were up 15, I think, at one point, almost 18 and a half. They released up 18 in the first half. I was really excited, oh, shit, they might actually be able to do this, too. And then I'll admit, I wouldn't even watch this game. I was on the golf course, so I just pretty much kept up with scores the whole way. Then, towards the end of the game, it just got closer. Next thing I know, the Cavs are up 10. It's oh, that sucks. Shout out Donovan Mitchell, too. He scored 35 in an amazing game. Had that bet as well. NBA props have been nice to you boys so far. Knock on wood. Shout out the Cavs Magic. I mean, they just had a really good game. Mavs Clippers Game 6. Unless the Clippers shot 500 threes and made most of them, I think the Mavs just have their number at this point. I think it's pretty evident. Yeah, the Mavs just clearly have their number at this point, especially with that pass. And they almost beat them from coming back down 30. If you think about that game. Crazy, man. This is crazy thing about this Clippers team, too. I'll probably maybe touch on it on a day where we have, I'll probably save this for Thursday a little bit, since we won't have as much action. We have, I think 3 games the next 2 days. I'll probably save a little bit of this talk for Thursday. Just, what is happening to the Clippers? I might even save that for an off-season program. It seems like Paul George might be gone. We'll see. Kawhi is just doing the Kawhi thing where he's able to play some, then he's hurt, can't play some. That whole weird situation. Clippers are just in a really, really weird spot. Lakers are kind of in a similar spot. It's just weird. The LA teams are in a weird spot. It's crazy to think of. Because I heard this yesterday on the bubble. How those teams were. The bubbles helped those teams out so bad. Because they were a bit older and it was the healthiest they've ever been. Lakers were able to take advantage, which is awesome for them. Shout out. Clippers were not, sadly. And then you just look at the history since. It's Clippers make the playoffs and they struggle and they usually get bounced. Same with the Lakers. They've been struggling a little bit, but they get bounced. But they at least have that ring, so it makes everything worth it. It's usually how it goes. If you're able to... It's like the Rams. The Rams sold their soul for a ring. They've had some many years, the last 2 or 3 years, but they got the ring, so it's all worth it. Same with the Lakers situation. They ran into a Nuggets team the last 2 years that just ran them over. And now, that leads me into this point of the Nuggets-Wolves. My God, are the Nuggets getting ran over. Lose by almost 30 last night. They were down 25 for majority of the night. It literally got to the point where I'm just I'm not going to watch it. It was 61-35 last night is about when I decided I wasn't going to watch the game anymore. Just destroyed the Nuggets last night. I'm not going to lie. My thought process joining this game was, so first off, I want to take Nas Reed's over. I don't know what it was. He finishes with 14. I almost took him to score 15, which I'm glad I didn't at this point. But I did almost take Nas Reed's over, but I wasn't able to see it because literally right before the game starts, I learned, oh, Rudy's having a kid. I literally learned that right before the next game start. I didn't check I need to remember that all the NBA news comes out at 1 or like 2 o'clock my time. They're not like the NFL, where the NFL usually gets the stuff out in the mornings way early before the games. The NBA waits till like last minute to do all their shit. I totally forgot about that. So I didn't see that till very end. It's like, oh shit, he's going to have a kid. So it made me wonder, like, all right, so the Nuggets probably take this game back then, because the biggest thing was the defense. With the Timberwolves, are really, really good. But when Rudy goes in, too, he's a really good defender, but Jokic goes right at him. But I'm like, man. So they will have that one less line of defense. I mean, defensive player of the year, they'll have Cat, they'll have Nas Reed. I mean, Jokic should be able to have a decent game, you would think. No. He had 16, 16, 8, which isn't a horrible game at all. Just Jokic probably needed to drop 20, 25. Murray was absolutely atrocious. I'm not even going to read you out the stats for this game, because I'll read you out for the Timberwolves, but for the Nuggets, I mean, it's just not even worth it, because they had 30 points in the first half. I mean, this Wolves defense just absolutely destroyed them. Shout out Cat, man. Cat went off. Dropped 27 and 12. Ant had 27, 2 and 7 as well. 14-5 from Reed. Alexander Walker had 14 and 6. I mean, I guess I can read you out the Nuggets. I mean, I wish I took Gordon score 20. I want to take Gordon score 20 when he was like plus 800 live, and I didn't. Then he went on like a flurry right away, and then his projected over-under was like 20 and a half. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take Porter's threes instead. Those are the two I'm looking at. Of course, Porter goes 1 for 7. That hurt. But yeah, like I said, Jokic was 16, 16, 8. We don't need to talk about my betting in this game. Murray, 8 points on 3 of 18 shooting. I think that's the biggest killer. Caldwell Pope didn't do too much. I mean, honestly, man, it was insane. I mean, a lot of people got minutes because of how bad it was. I mean, pretty much everyone but TJ Warren played for the Nuggets. Or for the Minnesota, excuse me. And then for the Nuggets, everyone played but DeAndre Jordan. Just insane, man. I seriously, so basically after all this stuff, I'm sitting here, it's like, man, I just don't know if the Nuggets are actually going to lose them. Because I will admit, I kind of wanted to take the Timberwolves a little bit. Because I'm sitting there, it's like, I was listening to people talk about it, and I was doing my own research sitting there. It's like, man, if they are really like that, Timberwolves might be able just to handle business. But I think my respect for the defending champs kind of got in the way a little bit, because I'm sitting there, it's like, nah, it's the Nuggets, though. They're still really good. They're going to get a game. They're at least going to get this game, make it 1-1 going back to Minnesota. And then that's when I probably was going to fully jump in all on the Timberwolves. Didn't even get the chance to. No joke. Was fully going to jump in on the Timberwolves probably after this game. And then maybe be like, all right, maybe the Timberwolves take them in 7, maybe take them in 6. Timberwolves might get them in 4 or 5. I mean, oh my God. Ant is that guy. That's one of the biggest things. If Ant can do what he's been doing, they're going to be set up nice. He almost drops 30. He would have, if this game was close, he would have dropped easily 30 or 40 again. But it was such a blowout. He basically didn't have the chance to. Which is just insane to think about, man. The Wolves, I mean, because everyone all season was like, Nuggets are this good, Nuggets are this good, Nuggets probably going to run it back, Celtics Nuggets was all anybody talked about. And now, both teams yesterday, so the Nuggets were originally plus 290, Timberwolves were plus 1,200 going into the series to win the finals. Going after game 1 is plus 500 for the Nuggets and Wolves each. Now, plus 290 for the Minnesota Timberwolves, and you got the Denver Nuggets at like plus, I think, 1,500. Absolutely insane how quickly the series has flipped in 2 games now. I'm not going to say it's over just yet, but that fat lady is humming up and warming up. I mean, we're about to hear her vocals soon. She's about to be singing, I think. If you can get the Denver Nuggets 4-2 is plus 1,700, that's absolutely insane. 4-3 plus 650 if you think. It's just crazy. Nuggets have to win 4 of the next 6 games. 4 of the next 6, the Nuggets have to win, and they get what? I think 3 home games, so they get game 5. So they get game 5, game 7. Am I stupid? Am I missing games? So they get the Wolves have 2 home games. 3. I don't know. My math might be off slightly. I don't know how it is, but the Wolves get 3 out of the next 5 home games for this. I mean, it's gonna be tough. It's a absolutely monumental. I mean, literally, yeah. They have what? The Wolves have 5 games to lose. Pretty much 4. They just got to win 2 more. 5 games, win 2 more versus Nuggets have to win 4 or 5. That's where my math was off. I don't know why I said 4 or 6. Yeah, 4 or 5 is going to be tough, especially 3 of them on the road. Man, it might be the Timberwolves' year, man. That's what's crazy. It just absolutely might be the Timberwolves' year. So we'll move on to the Thunder. Thunder minus 130 now to win the series. They were minus 120. I do think I'm going to pick the Thunder in this series against the Mavs. But I'm just going to watch. We're going to watch game 1, see what happens, because I'm not for sure just yet on this series. Then when it comes to the East, the other series we got tonight, Celtics-Cavs, I just don't even... I'm not going to bet on that at all. I'm honestly only going to watch it live to maybe bet some live props if I see somebody going off. Past that, I mean, the Cavs are going to take one game. It's going to be very similar to the Heat series where the Celtics probably win by 20 almost every game except for one where the Cavs just have an amazing game. I don't know what game it's going to be, so I'm not going to try to predict it. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're looking at. Let's see, Knicks up 1-0. Celtics-Cavs start tonight. The Magic are gone. Mavericks is what I meant to say. Mavericks Thunder got a game tonight, and then the Timberwolves up 2-0 on the Denver Nuggets, minus 700 to win the series now. Unbelievable, man. The series go 5 games plus 500, 6 games plus 280, 4 games plus 100, 7 games plus 410. I might throw a little bit in 5 or 6 games. We'll see. I'm going to hold back for a little bit, but that'd be my recommendation, is I think the Nuggets are going to lose in 5 or 6 games at this point. I don't think this goes 7. The Nuggets are really good, but after these last 2 games, I mean, they won by a lot without Rudy. So it makes me just wonder, are the Nuggets, it's just not the Nuggets here. Jamal Murray's dealing with some injuries, so that could be an issue. I mean, injuries suck, man. He could be partially hurt, and that could be an issue on why this team isn't playing up to its best standard right now. Because, yeah, I mean, the Nuggets, wow, down 2-0 to the Timberwolves. If you told me that before the playoffs started, I would have never believed you. I thought at worst the series was going to be 1-1. Especially after watching the Sun series, I'm like, man, the Wolves are good, but the Nuggets, at least are going to get 1 game at home, but no, sir. Yeah, that's going to do it for the NBA. I mean, we pretty much covered up everything. We're going to look at the scheduling for the games real quick before we officially move on to NFL news. So, tonight, we got Cavs, Celtics, Thunder, Magic, Thunder, Mavericks. Jesus, I'm going to say that every time now. Tomorrow, we got the Knicks-Pacers. And then that leaves us Thursday. We got Cavs, Celtics, Mavs, Thunder. Friday will give us the Pacers and then the Timberwolves, Nuggets. Why did the Timberwolves... Is it because they started early, they get the extra day off? So that leaves us in the Fridays, and then we can talk about more after Friday. It's just weird how the Nuggets have that one extra day. The Nuggets Wolves just have that one extra day off, but the next, for example, they played yesterday, so do the Knicks-Pacers. Knicks-Pacers play Wednesday, but the Wolves don't play Wednesday. They get that day off, and then they play Friday, but so do the Knicks and Pacers. Why the Knicks and Pacers get no games off? Is it because they went? It might be because they went farther. I forgot the Wolves and Nuggets pretty much both swept, so that could be it. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna move on to NFL news. We pretty much covered everything in the NBA. Looking forward to coming back on Thursday and talking a little bit more what's going on. By the time you see me Thursday, we'll be talking Game 3 action for Nuggets Wolves. Get some reactions from the outside world, see what other people are saying after that game yesterday. But yeah, moving on to some NFL news. We'll see if there's anything massive popping off in the league. I'll admit I have not looked in probably 2-3 days. I haven't looked since Sunday. I took a little bit of little mental R&R and just wasn't too deep into the weeds. Let's go. Joe Burrow returns to practice following his wrist surgery, so it sounds like he is back and doing a little bit better. Sounds like according to a receiver, he didn't miss a beat, according to Kwame Lassiter. Whatever he did in the offseason worked, so it sounds good that Joe Burrow's officially going to be back and healthy, because remember, He got hurt that one Monday night game, or either Sunday night, Thursday night, one of those two. It was a primetime game where everyone made a big deal about, oh, he had a wrist guard getting off the plane. He had a wrist guard getting off the plane. And you literally saw him throw a ball on the sideline, grab his arm, and just basically scream. And just, I mean, it did not look pretty. So I was glad to hear that he's coming back and everything feels a lot better. Patriots starting to search for de facto GM. So they began the formal process to name a new head of obviously a new GM. I have no idea who's like even in the name. Trey Brown declined a request, who was for the Cincinnati Bengals. Oh, I actually don't. I don't think they really have any names yet. They're just officially announcing like, hey, we're actually going to start doing it. And the Tank Dell is going to make a full recovery from a gunshot wound. I think we talked about this last week. He was kind of in a weird situation. He just kind of got caught with a stray on the side, and it sounds like he's going to make a full recovery and be okay. And that all they said was a minor wound. There's really nothing that came out past that. So shout out to Tank Dell, feeling better. Andrew Pete is now moving on from the Saints to the Raiders. A lot of insiders thought the Saints might sign him back and everything, but it sounds like they're just going to let him go and move on from him, which I forget their draft, so it makes me think they drafted an offensive lineman. I 100% know that they did. They dropped Fuanga, I think his name was, actually. So that makes a little bit more sense. Sounds like they're going to go a little bit younger on the tackles. Tyreek Hill said he would like to retire in Miami. We'll see if this is actually sentiment or if he actually means it. I'm curious. I'm just reading what some people say about it. It depends. I think if he takes a pay cut, for sure, he'll end up staying there for the rest of his career. But I would be not shocked if he ends up not wanting to take a pay cut and moving on somewhere. But it's all going to depend on the money, because eventually he's going to have to take a pay cut, because that boy Tua, if they're going to pay Tua's going to need a bag. I'll admit, I also missed that Tom Brady roast. I need to watch that, because apparently I heard it was really good at some spots. Marquez Valdes-Scantling is set to visit the Chargers. The 29-year-old wideout was released by Kansas City this year. He has 2 Super Bowl rings, though. He had 63 catches for 1,002 yards over 2 seasons with the Chiefs. And then he held in 3 receptions for 20 yards and a touchdown in the Super Bowl last year. He was with the Packers from 2018 to 2021, and then he won the 2 Super Bowl with the Chiefs. Not a bad come-up. Chargers right now, wide receiver room, it's Quentin Johnson, Joshua Palmer, Ladd McConkey, and DJ Chark. They let Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, and they let Jalen Guyton go? Oh, shit. Yeah, this is a whole new look Chargers, huh? I didn't even realize. So they are legit. The only one that's left is, wow, so in the Harbaugh era, the only one that's really left on offense is Herbert. And, I mean, Gerald Everett might still be there, too, but everyone else. Oh, Jalen Guyton's on the Raiders. This happened 20 hours ago. He's coming off of... I don't think they don't have the money or anything, but yeah, Jalen Guyton's a Raider now. Mike Williams is a Jet. Keenan Allen is a Bear. Wild times, man. That's wild times, man. J.J. Watt, I'll be there if the Texans need me in 2024. What do you mean? So this is... He pretty much told D'Amico Ryans, like, hey, if you absolutely need me, I will be there, but don't call me. So it sounds like he is kind of still slightly torn on joining back or not, but he also is at least committed enough to being with his family and everything. This is J.J. Watt. He's committed enough and everything to kind of realize, like, hey, I probably shouldn't go back, but I kind of want to. So I'll leave it open if you absolutely need me, but I understand that I probably shouldn't come back. Which is shout out to him, man. He had a really awesome career, and the fact that the Texans are amazing now, I can't blame him. That's probably super tempting to at least give it one more shot, especially if they have a really good chance to make a run. Jordan Travis thinks a lot about being a successor to Roger. It's pretty much, which might not be bad. I mean, that's what they wanted for Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson wasn't able to figure it out. Maybe Jordan Travis had the chance to figure it out a little bit better. Brandon Cooks thinks that CeeDee Lamb deserves to be the NFL's top-paid wide receiver. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I think Justin Jefferson is slightly better, but I do think CeeDee Lamb deserves a lot of money. I thought CeeDee Lamb was really, really good last year. I mean, shit, if you watched the show, I'd bet on that. I bet on that dude almost every week. He's on an NBA Jam for like 8 weeks, I think. Made us a lot of money on the show, and I'm watching along with him. I think I had him in fantasy. If I didn't, I lied. I don't know if I had him in fantasy or not, but I was able to keep up with him a good amount. He had a really good season last year. I think he is one of the top receivers in the NFL. I just think that Justin Jefferson's that slight bit ahead of him. Just a slight bit. Saints are not actively shopping Lattimore, so obviously they're good. So this is what the general manager had to say, I believe. Marshall's been a really good player for us. for a good period of time. Oh, yeah, this is the general manager. He's the one of the leaders on our team. We can use as many corners as we can get. So pretty much, I think it's one of those things where it's like, hey, if you want to call me and give me a really good offer, I'll listen. But for the most part, I think I'm going to keep this guy, which is smart, especially corner's starting to become one of those positions where you can't have enough of them. So, especially when you have a good one to teach your young ones. Apparently, Josh Jacobs went off on some Raiders fans. So this is what Josh Jacobs had to say to a Raiders fan. A fake ass goodbye. I ain't no hate to the Raiders fans. They made a business decision. Oh, sorry. Fake ass goodbye. Oh, my fault. This is hard to read for me. It ain't no hate to the Raiders. They made a business decision, and so did I. Simply move on. It's simple. Move on. And this is what apparently some fan you could have left with a bit more professionalism in class. We loved having you. You're a dog. Just not sure why you took the deal you did to play elsewhere and not even post a matches thanking anyone. Just makes sense to your fan favorite. Oh, okay. So some people are get a little bit soft. Yeah, and then some other fans, like, we at least think the dude with the Raider tattoo. I don't know. I'm a lot. There's a little bit of the fans being a little bit soft. Like, hey, say thanks for being on our team. That's what it kind of sounds like, for at least from these two. I'm sure not all Raiders fans feel this way. But yeah, I can't blame Jacobs. It is a business at the end of the day. I mean, we kind of saw with Saquon. I think Saquon did kind of say goodbye. He did mess around with Tiki Barber a little bit, I believe, about Tiki calling him out. But, I mean, it's just how it goes sometimes. NFL, sometimes these relationships just get so... I mean, shit. If you saw the roast, I did see that clip. You saw it with Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft. Those two can't stand each other anymore now. And it's just how it goes. Sometimes the business just makes it harder. Just genuinely makes it harder to love the place once you leave it. Because you just get to a point where you're just, like, so mentally, like, distraught and frustrated with it. You're just like, all right, whatever. See ya. I'll go deal with somewhere else. Odell Beckham Jr. signed a one-year deal with the Dolphins. Very interesting signing. I'm not going to lie. He signed for really, really cheap, too. There's a lot of these veteran guys that are signing for pretty cheap, which is a steal for a lot of these teams. Like, getting Odell on a $3 million deal is really, really good. I'm just curious how healthy he will stay this year. I still don't think the Dolphins are going to do much. I'll talk about this probably... I want to say we'll probably save it for the Eastern Conference and West Finals, and then for sure the NBA Finals. We'll probably say a lot of the looking at these teams and thinking what I'll do next year. Like I plan on doing a prediction for each team, like going through their roster and everything, and be like, oh, this is where I think they'll finish. Pretty much, I think I've done a mix of that every year. First year I did team by team. Last year I did divisions. This year, don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet, but we're going to do something very similar. I'm just waiting for there not to be basketball every single day, pretty much, because like there's an NBA game on every single day right now, so it's like I have something to talk about. I'm going to save this when there's absolutely nothing here too. But yeah, speaking of the Dolphins, like I said, I don't know how much they're going to do. I think this is not a bad signing for them. It brings them back to the infamous boat area that he had an issue with when he was with the Giants. If you don't remember, Miami was where he got on that boat. But yeah, no, I think it's a really good move for them offensively. I still don't know what their defense is going to do. I still don't know if I believe in Tua. So it's been I still have that cold weather game in my mouth, and it puts a bad taste in my mouth. Man. And it just sucks. After watching clips of him running when he was younger versus how much he moves now, it's just like, man. I understand he's hurt and a lot's happened, but it's just like, man. If he had that mobility, it'd probably be so much of a different story. Buffalo Bills, they signed Chase Claypool to a one-year contract. I'm not going to lie, I'm shocked that he's still able to bounce around as well as he did. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know if it's a thing where he's never fully bought in where he's at. He has a lot of talent. I mean, the dude's good. I just don't. He's not a bad player. I just don't know. I don't know what's up with Claypool. He's one of those, it's like kind of like DJ Chark, where I think DJ Chark's slightly better than him, if we're being honest. But one of those names where you're just like, oh, he's on this team now? Oh, shit, how did he end up on this team? Oh, now he's on this team? It's one of those situations where it's like, I thought he was out of the league. How's he keep signing places? The Rams GM said they might call Dono if they go on a playoff run. He's like, I did mention to Aaron that going back to our Super Bowl run, that there was a player by the name of Eric Weddle who kind of jumped into the playoffs. We signed him to the practice squad, and we standard elevated him for 4 straight games to a Super Bowl championship. So I did mention that if we happen to get to the playoffs again, maybe we'll circle back and see if the cup's quite not filled. But I doubt Aaron's going to do that, which is awesome. I mean, I'm still kind of shocked that Aaron Donald retired. I need to buy one of his jerseys instantly. I need to add it to the collection. Have to get an Aaron Donald jersey. One of my favorite defensive linemen of all time. Mount Rushmore favorite defensive lineman of all time. This is the first defensive lineman that I watched get drafted, and like, that's my guy. That's my guy, and I was able to watch his whole career. Which, it's just crazy, man. He retired so young. He's so goddamn good, too. He was so goddamn good. It's unbelievable. I want to see if they have his stats in this article. They do not. Yeah, no, and honestly, shout out to him for retirement. He seriously is arguably one of the best defenders of all time with how dominant he was. I mean, this dude was getting double or triple teamed in the interior of the defensive line. Like, I mean, every game he's getting double teamed. He's still putting up amazing numbers. You're a really good player when they spend time. Like, the coaches spend time, and you're the first one they talk about. It's like, all right, how do we keep this guy from wrecking our game? And it's not a wide receiver, it's not a quarterback, it's a defensive interior lineman that can play any position. Prescott won't be charged over his 2017 sexual assault case. I'll admit, I don't remember much of this at all. But apparently, the police said there wasn't any evidence to support the women's claim, so this is all getting swept under the rug. Not swept under the rug, I guess. It's just not being a thing because he's not getting charged. So I'm just going to... Prescott and the woman have sued each other. The quarterback claims the woman engaged in extortion by demanding $100 million to keep her from going public with the allegations. Okay, so it sounds like this could be potentially a money grab situation from someone. We will see, but yeah, obviously something won't be charged, so it's nothing to deal with. Move on from that. DJ Chargers 1-year deal worth $5 million. The Chiefs declined Kadarius Toney's 5th-year option. I totally forgot he's on the team. And become an unrestricted free agent if as the Chiefs choose not to play the fully guaranteed $14.4 million. I don't blame him at all. I honestly can't believe he's still on the team. Makes you wonder if they're going to trade him or release him at some point. Somebody said they actually did try to sign him, but he kept dropping the pin, so they just said forget it. Stupid. So stupid. No, but honestly, yeah, it seems like he's pretty much... I don't know what's going to happen with his career at this point. Maybe he might win another Super Bowl and then just be off in the air. Because, yeah, I don't know if there's any teams that want him as of right now. Hornets have moved past Debo Ayuk trade talk. That was probably just a quick thing to see if they can get anything good for him, and they didn't. So they're just like, all right, let's just keep building our team and keep it up. Steelers declined Najee Harris' 5th-year option. Interesting. Makes me think they're either going to give him a new deal or he's going to walk. Which I won't be shocked if they let him walk. Excuse me. I won't be shocked if they let him walk at the end of the season with how interesting his career's been. Like, he's had some good moments, but there's also been some bad moments, so it's a little bit weird. All right, Ryan Poles also came out, and apparently they had no thoughts of trading down from 9, which is intriguing because a lot of people assumed it was almost automatic that they were going to do that. But hey, shout out to the Bears because, yeah, they drafted Rome Odunze. They have an amazing, pretty good, I'm not going to say amazing offense, but they have a really, really good offense now. This is an offense I'm like, oh, shit, okay, Bears. This is actually, as I was sitting there, I was like, man, this is an offense I would actually, if I was a fan of, I'd actually really, really enjoy watching. It's all just going to depend on how good Caleb Williams is. Steelers special teams coach discusses Justin Fields returning kicks. This came out. And I'm just saying, there's a lot of people who are, this is very split. A lot of people are just like, just let him play quarterback, and other people are like, well, it's about time, Justin Fields. A lot of mixed in there. It's just like, man. Yeah, Justin Fields has had a really, really interesting career. I'm not going to blame the Bears for absolutely tanking him, but it's tough. Justin Fields has had a very, very tough career. And, yeah, I mean, he's going to be backing up Russell Wilson. So I think it's pretty cool as soon as you touch the ball, when everything starts to happen. Warren said our special teams coordinator was talking about Justin Fields being back there. I think it was more of like a passing comment than like an actual literal comment, though, honestly. But we'll see. I mean, I don't know at this point, Justin Fields. Anything can happen. Governor office, Bears Stadium planned non-starter after meeting. The Bears unveiled nearly $5 billion plan calling for public funding last week and closed facility to be built next to their longtime home at Soldier Field, though the governor did not rule out more discussions to think he is facing an uphill battle. That's Chicago for you. I'm not going to talk too much shit on Chicago. I did live there for 4 years, and man, a lot of people were not happy with some of the officials up there, I tell you what. There are a lot of officials up there that do not make people happy. And I think that's actually going to do it for the NFL news. I think we've, actually, no, it's not. Never mind, we have some stuff. Did we talk about Brissett Apparently, it came out that Brissett's excited to compete for the QB1 job with May, even though he's going to have it until a certain point. It's not even a competition. It's more of a hey, you're number one until May's ready, and then you're number two. It's one of those situations. So, I think Brissett. It's more of a question: does Brissett start half the season, or does he start the full season before Drake May comes in? I would not be shocked if Drake May start the full season, but I think the Patriots end up having a mad enough season. They do end up probably just saying, hey, you know what? Let's just throw Drake May out there now to give him some at least game reps. Zeke is happy about coming back. It's great to return home. I'm sure it's nice to be back to the Cowboys. I wonder if he still has his house they used to live in. I wonder if he can just be like, hey, can I just get my house back? I was only gone for a year. Can I get my house back? That was the last one I think we need to talk about. Yep, that should about do it. So I'm going to end it. I actually forgot to talk baseball last week, so there's literally no point in me reading standings, so I'll at least save it for Thursday. I'll probably save it for next week, honestly. I genuinely forgot that I came on at least talk standings. I don't have anything big baseball to talk about. I'm still not fully dived in enough to where I can really pay attention. I've seen just like bits and pieces here and there. Like I've kept up somewhat with games, but I don't have a collective like overview to be like, yes, this team's dominating. This team's the best. This team's way better than this team. This team is doing this over that team. I do not have nearly enough watching time of MLB to do that. Hopefully, I'm gonna have to, like I said, we talked about it a little bit Thursday. I'm gonna have to hit my boy Ron, see what's up, because if he has it locked in, we're gonna have to get him on the show because I don't got my baseball stuff down just yet. So I guess we'll pretty much end it with some NHL talk real quick. Just to talk about some series that have been happening. Let's see. So, do I want to go to standings? So, the first round, to finish it up, Hurricanes win 4-1, Bruins win 4-3, they almost choked at 3-1, but they were able to hold on. Panthers win 4-1 over Lightning, Rangers 4-0 over Capitals. Dallas Stars, Vegas Knights went 7 games. Dallas Stars are able to come out on top 4-3 over the Knights. Heartbreaker for ya boy. Because I think the Knights were my favorite team for about 4 days before I decided I don't know why I have a favorite team in hockey. Yet again, still don't know. I still need to figure out who I like in hockey overall. Also would help if I watch more hockey, but we need to get into that later. Winnipeg Jets, Colorado Avalanche. Avalanche win 4-1. Which I think that's actually considered an upset, technically, because I think the Avalanche were a dog. Canucks win against the Predators 4-2, and then the Oilers win 4-1. So now we're in the second round. 2 games have started off. Bruins win last night. Massive, massive win. It was 5-1. Rangers, they end up winning 4-3 in a tight one to go up 1-0 in theirs. And then the Canucks and Oilers haven't played yet. Stars and Avalanche have not played yet. So that's what's going on in the hockey world. But a lot of good games. The Boston Bruins came out hot last night. I think they were a little bit frustrated with how long their last series lasted. Because, they came out 5-1 and absolutely just lit it up. I have no idea who's going to win the series. I do think the Bruins probably do end up winning the series, though. At this point, I think they got a lot of demons out of their heads, but I don't watch enough hockey to be able to give out, like, professional betting advice. Like, oh, yeah, take them. But, like I said, for baseball, I mean, I think I read the standings. About 4 games have happened since then. So we're going to hold off a little bit on that. So that's probably going to do it for today. If we're being realistic. I don't think there's too much more I really want to talk about. NFL-wise, we pretty much talked about the news. I'm saving all for the big NFL stuff for the upcoming, maybe 2 weeks from now? 2-3 weeks from now when the NBA playoffs are almost, I'm not going to say almost over, but they're pretty much about good and done. Because, if we look at the standings, I'm trying to think. Assuming that these games don't go 7 games, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, about the 3rd week of May is when we should be seeing the Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals. That's when I'll start, diving back into, heavy NFL because it's seriously going to be, if I'm lucky, I'll have 2 games to talk about when I come on. Man, I can't wait, dude. So that's probably going to do it for today. It's just a quick little easy catch-up day today. Talk a little bit of NBA action. I just don't think there's too much more I really want to go over or need to go over that I at least have my eyes on. Victor Wembanyama won unanimous Rookie of the Year. We did forget to mention that. I think other than that, there's not too much I didn't mention. Just trying to look to make sure there's nothing I did miss NBA wise or anything like that. Yeah, Thunder-Mavs tonight. I'm on the Thunder -3.5. I do have them if you want a bet for me to give out this episode. I am on the Thunder -3.5. When it comes to the other series, I'm not going to bet anything just yet. I kind of want to bet Donovan Mitchell score 35. I just don't have any clue of how the Celtics are going to play this. I think this could get ugly quick. So I'm very tempted to take the 12.5, but I just don't know if the Cavs are going to win one of the first 4 games. I can guarantee you that. I just don't know if it's game 1 or game 4. I do think this is potentially going to be a sweep, though. Man, I don't know. I'm just trying to think. So I know this is the end of the episode. I'm just trying to think if there's anything I really have a lean on this series. I don't know. I do think, though, that I am somewhat excited to watch the Celtics series. All right, let's see that dominance again now. Let's see how they do it because they beat the shit out of my Heat team. Let's see them beat the shit out of the Cavs now. Let's see what happens to somebody else. I'm excited for that. Excited for the Thunder-Mavs game. I am very genuinely excited for. I'm curious to see, is this Luka's time or is this the time of the young Bucks? Because that Thunder's team, man, they got some dogs on that team. But thank y'all for watching. Thank you for all the support. I really do appreciate it. Man, Thursday, I'm assuming we're going to do a little bit more NBA talk. Obviously go over some more NFL news. Potentially even talk some more NHL. You know, it's just going to be very basic. We're in the off season. We're kind of chilling. Hey, which every day that goes by, we're getting closer and closer and closer to, like, bulk NFL stuff. I got some NFL stuff. Like I said, 3rd week of May, 4th week of May. I got some NFL stuff that's slowly starting to build. I'm very excited to start sharing it and everything. I've been working on it a little bit in the shadows. So honestly, what I'm excited for. I'm excited for this channel over the next, little rant in a good way. I'm very excited for what's going to be coming over the summer. I got a lot of stuff I'm working on behind the scenes. So just know some of these shows might be a little bit slow right now because it is the off season. But just know that we're picking up, man. It's going to start heating up really, really quickly here soon. But thank you all for watching. Thanks for all the support. I really do appreciate it. I will see everybody back on this feed on Thursday for some more, not only NBA talk, but some NFL talk.